Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Someone wrote in and wanted to know how we can create or how they can create a stronger relationship and trust with spirit. And again, I always go back to prayer and meditation. That's key. When you're starting out on this journey, it's difficult for me to explain because I've always had this ability from a child. I always was very pulled to the other side, very much so. So for me, it was just part of my life. It was part of the way that I was. I knew I was different as I got a little older, as I grew up, and I was, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. I began to understand and see that other children weren't like me. They weren't able to see what I saw or hear what I heard. And when I would talk to the priests and nuns about it going to Catholic school, they would tell me it wasn't good. I shouldn't talk about that. I shouldn't say that. And yet that's the very thing they were teaching me to do, to connect with God and the angels. And if a loved one passed, pray for them and pray to them. And I did, and I heard and I saw, and then I was told it wasn't good. So it was very confusing for me, very confusing for me. But so I had that strong relationship always, all my life. And now it's much stronger, because once I really embraced this gift and ability, I just spread my wings and flew, and just went to every workshop I could possibly go to and studied under the best and did everything I possibly could. And my life now is, very much in communicating with the world of spirit. So I have to live in the real world, so I know that there's a time and place to do this work. And so I try to do it in a way that it doesn't interfere too much with my family life. But, this is a gift that I have from God. And if it's going to comfort people and help them, learn about God, pull them closer to God rather than away from God, and help them to have some peace and understanding that their loved ones are in a beautiful place, as the Bible teaches us, then I'm certainly going to do it, whether I'm criticized for it or not. Because I always say, I work for God in spirit, so that comes first to me, first and foremost. So what I would suggest to new people that are just starting this journey out, I would say that you want to learn the proper way to meditate, make your prayer life very strong, take all the workshops that you possibly can, study, read, but make sure that you're going to the right people, you're taking the right workshops, you're reading the right literature, because that's really important. And I've mentioned to you several times, Lilydale, New York is an outstanding place. It's a little town about 45 minutes outside of Buffalo, not far from Niagara Falls, and they're open from the beginning of June until the end of September. And they have the best of the best in Lilydale as far as registered mediums there. I sit on the assembly. I'm not a registered medium, but I sit on the assembly there. And I'm honored. I'm honored to sit on the assembly. And I'm also honored to teach there every year. And they pull in, a lot of people every year to teach these classes and workshop, and they're properly vetted. So, if you take a class at Lilydale, you know that the person you're taking it from is the right person, because Lilydale wouldn't have it any other way. So you have Lilydale, New York, from the beginning of June until the end of September. I have a full schedule up that I put up. It's up already. My website is griefmedium.com, griefmedium.com. And if you go to the schedule of events, you'll see my entire calendar for 2018. So I teach workshops. But Janet Nohavec at the Journey Within, I mean, she brings in the cream of the crop. She brings in teachers from the Arthur Findlay College in England, which is the true metaphysical college, the best in the world. So I have been very blessed to take from many of these teachers from the Arthur Findlay College. You don't have to go across the ocean to get the best. You can go in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, to the Journey Within and get the best, just as you can in Lilydale, New York. So I always like to put a plug in for the Reverend Janet Nohavec's The Journey Within Spiritualist Church, as well as Lilydale, because they have helped me tremendously. And I know that they're all light workers, and they do it in the right way, and they do it in God's love and light, and they bring in all the teachers who do the same. So, there's many places out there to go. There's a lot of people teaching this that should not be teaching it. They're not qualified. Going to a class or two doesn't make you a qualified teacher. You really have to study and learn, and there's a lot to it. It's years of education. At least it was for me, and that's the way it should be for most. Okay? So, how you form a strong trust, first and foremost, is prayer and meditation. And you want to start with guided visual meditation where someone takes you on a journey working with your clairs, CLAIRS. That's the 5 ways you connect to spirit, which is clairvoyant to see, clairaudient to hear, clairsentient to feel, claircognizant, the all-knowing, and clairgussions, taste and smell. First thing you want to find out is what are your gifts and abilities, and by going to these workshops and participating in activities in the class, you'll learn exactly what your gifts and abilities are, and you'll learn how to embrace them and strengthen them. Okay? So I hope that answers your question, and as always, I leave you in God's love and light.